Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about what I can only see as the saltiest game developers of all time. So I know I've been talking a lot about Elden Ring, and I guess that sucks if you're not interested in Elden Ring, but it's actually important to the story here. Anyway, Elden Ring recently came out, right? And it's been a super critically acclaimed game. People are loving this thing, right? It's so far probably the favorite to win Game of the Year. Personally, I think it's probably going to end up being my personal game of the year, so I mean that's just kind of where I'm at personally with the game so far. But obviously when a game comes out and it's doing so successful and everyone loves it and it's so hyped up and it's drawing all of this attention, that the possibility that it draws in some jealousy as well is pretty high, right? Because I mean, if you're a game developer and you worked on some, I guess, indie game or something that didn't do so well, when you look at a game like Elden Ring that's made by like widely respected developers, and when they release it, it gets like a 97 on Metacritic and it's like critically acclaimed out of the gate, you can see how that person making, the shitty game that no one's playing, you can see why they would be upset that the other developers have something good going for them. I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of a bitch move. I mean, because like you're literally just hating on somebody else for being successful, but they kind of guise it, I think, behind quote-unquote criticism, right? And some of the people, or well, there's really 2 or 3 people we're going to be taking a look at here, and one of them is so salty about this whole thing, and they like shit-talked the game and everything, but we're about to talk about what they've been up to, because it's pretty interesting, to say the least, and I just kind of want to talk about this topic in general, because, over on Twitter, there's been, like, I guess, these little game developer leaks like this happening where they just kind of accidentally say what they're thinking and they get kind of owned by everybody because of it. And well, I know that sucks. I know it sucks to be the blunt end of the joke, but it's like, at the same time, don't get upset about something and then run to Twitter and say this and say just some inflammatory shit that isn't really correct and then wonder why people are ratioing you in the comments, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this entire thing. So I want to start this off here with Ahmed Salama, right? Okay, and let's go ahead and see what Ahmed had to say. The fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game UX. My life is a lie. What does UX mean in this context? The user experience is generally awful. Nothing about the thing feels intentional or play-tested, okay? This is just not correct, right? Like, the user experience is not generally awful. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at the Steam reviews and see what users have to say about it. 85% of the nearly 200,000 reviews since the game has come out have all been positive on Steam, which is also, coincidentally, the platform where users were experiencing some of the day one issues of like frame rate loss and stuttering and things like that. So on the worst performing initial platform, it has an 85% like rating from 200,000 people. So I would think if it had a just generally awful user experience, as the claim says here, right, that people would not be in agreement that this is a really good game, because I think 200,000 is a pretty good sample size to kind of base an opinion off of, right? 200,000 people and 185,000 of them, or in that ballpark, have all said that this game is great, right? They enjoyed it, positive. Your user experience may have been generally awful, okay? I mean, like, day one, the game did not perform to my personal standards, so I didn't play it. Then, like, 3 days later, they had a patch for it that pretty much fixed the issue for me on PC. I would not say my personal user experience has been ruined by that, initial bug/issue that happened. I would say that unlike your game that you were a UI lead on, Battlefield 2042, that I'm just glad that they got the issue fixed within a couple days instead of taking 4 months. The best thing that's happened to Ahmed's game here in the last, well, ever since it launched, is they finally added a scoreboard, which is a standard FPS feature, to the game 4 months after it launched. And it still looks like complete horseshit and people don't like it. So I think maybe Ahmed should have sat this one out, right? Because this is not the debate that you want to get into here, Ahmed. Let's talk about the user experience of Battlefield 2042. It's been complete fucking garbage. In fact, it was so terrible that 250,000 people signed a petition on change.org demanding refunds for your game. There's literally more people who've asked for a refund on one website for your game than people have reviewed the game you're shit-talking on Steam. The difference is those people against your game don't want the game. The people talking about Elden Ring fucking liked it. So yeah, once again, not sure if this is the argument that Ahmed wants to really have here, okay? And I get it, it's not like the weight of Battlefield 2042 being horseshit is completely on his back, but he who lives in a glass house should not throw stones. You know what I mean? Don't talk about user experience if you were a developer for Battlefield 2042. If you guys would give me a refund, I would not even own your product. So let's not do this. And I don't want it to feel like I'm dogpiling on these people, right? Like I'm just attacking them for no reason. No. I'm just proving what they say wrong and using basic logic back against these people, okay? Because they're online claiming these things. They're making these statements on public accounts, so I feel like I have an entitlement to be able to respond to them using my public platform. I think I just said public platform. I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, don't say dumb shit on Twitter if you don't want people to respond to it. That's my personal, take on that. But anyway, let's go ahead and move forward because this isn't the only take that I want to respond to. It seems like Elden Ring in particular is the game that's gotten game developers to speak out a little bit recently. Very glad to see that the lesson people want the developers to learn from Elden Ring is to make UI and UX bad, because that's good now. What is happening here? The UI UX is absolutely atrocious and there's nothing good about it. I can fathom that you would love the game, but come on. And by the way, I don't think these are opinions that you shouldn't be allowed to have. If you think your user experience in Elden Ring sucked, then more power to you. It sucked for you, okay? That's the whole point. But you can't make generalizing statements, and I'm sorry for hitting the microphone, but you can't make generalizing statements like this and then wonder why people are gonna, respond to it like this. So I don't know what they mean by this whole user experience thing, right? Because it's like been demonstrated that the vast majority of players that are playing this are having a positive experience. So what do you mean when you say this? Do you mean your personal user experience? That's a completely different debate, okay? I can't tell you how your personal experience went. But using your bad experience to say, oh, the game overall is just shit, it doesn't work. And you're gonna say, oh, but Optimus, you just shit on Battlefield 2042. Some people have positive experiences. Yeah, what, 15% of the people playing do? There's a reason the game had 1,600 players on Steam yesterday, dude. And it's not because people fucking love the game. Come on now. And to say the UI's bad, I don't know what this means. Are you mad because there's not a big fucking mini-map in the corner to tell you where to go on the map and you have to actually use a little bit of fucking, just basic common sense too to figure out where you need to go? The game literally explains how to navigate. The first thing it does, it tells you exactly what the fuck is going on in the game. It is not anyone else's fault that you couldn't pay attention and the game doesn't fucking put enough plastered text and stuff on the screen to make the game playable for you. I apologize that there's not a quest bar down the side like World of Warcraft to let you know what objective is next, and you have to actually explore the vast open world and do different things. I don't understand why this is the argument at hand, because if this is the issue, okay, let's go ahead and talk about it. What exactly is the problem? With respect, I genuinely have not found anything good about the UI or UX. Things are structured poorly, buttons behave unpredictably, interface systems are confusing, information I know I have is unfindable, and I never navigate through any screen to where I want to go in one try. Okay, so here's my personal experience. I found 100 cool things about it. For instance, you can look on the undiscovered parts of the map and there can be I don't know, ruins or just something drawn there, and if you go there, it's actually something that's there. So even if you haven't discovered the whole map or whatever, you still know that shit's out there and where to go. You just have to use a little bit of common sense to fucking piece together the map. It's like a puzzle. It's pretty cool. If you just think about it for 2 seconds, you kind of figure it out. And I'm not trying to shame you if you didn't know that fact about the game, by the way. I'm just saying in general, these things can be figured out if you just play the game. I have not seen anything structured poorly. I don't know what that means. I think the inventory and everything is pretty straightforward, personally. For me, I haven't had buttons behave unpredictably. I don't know if this means on the controller. I've never had that happen. It's been pretty responsive for me. Interface systems are confusing. Yeah, I can get behind that point to a certain extent. They are confusing if, like, you've never played this kind of game, or if, like, you're not actually actively thinking about what's going on. But a lot of the times, they're not that hard to figure out, and part of the game and part of what's supposed to be the fun is figuring these things out. Information you know you have is unfindable. What knowledge is it in particular that, like, you can't just remember? Like, what you need to do next? I mean, once again, I'm sorry that they didn't add like a text bar down the side that gives you a mission objective list, and I've been able to navigate just fine in one try. I've never had that problem, so these are my personal experiences. I just feel like these game developers are just actually kind of salty, right? Like, I feel like this criticism is coming out of a place of, hey, I'm not happy about what I'm producing. This game's getting a lot of love and attention. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, they're picking exclusively on like this user experience point, and then they just failed to actually explain further than just, oh, well, I was a little confused and the game didn't tell me exactly what to do immediately. Like, it just, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's not legitimate. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't agree with the criticism. So anyway, with that being said though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, responding to these game devs and signing out.